Yeah, boys, as if we weren't hype enough, there you go. Get settled in to Pub Sports Radio. I'm Jason. He's Matt. We're going to bring here with you every single match week here of the Premier League. How's it going, Matt?
It's going great. It's exciting to be kind of back, with Pub Sports Radio. It's not my first time here. I was here a couple years ago with one of my buddies, Cody Gelhausen, Squid's Picks, and it's happy to kind of have a little newbie right now, Jason, but to Pub Sports, and I want to first thank Jeff Slaughter for having me back and having us back, and Jason and I have been doing a show on Jason's YouTube channel for the last year, so we really know this league, and we're hoping to cash some tickets with everybody for sure.
Yep, and we'll do that each and every single week. Again, we'll guide you through the Premier League and the 10 games on that opening weekend. With that being said, let's just jump right into it. We do know that there's a game that kicks off in about an hour. Lineup should be coming out. They're probably already out, right? They just came out a minute or so. But let's go ahead and skip that game. Let's let the lineup sit in for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll circle back to this game and certainly talk through it once we know confirmed lineups and give you guys our best bets for Crystal Palace and Arsenal. But we'll kick it off here on Saturday morning. You've got Fulham taking on Liverpool. Boy, you got the giant versus the little minnow right here in this one with Liverpool taking on Fulham. I can't see anything but a Liverpool win. Can they cover the minus 1.5 Asian line, which is priced at minus 114? I think they can. I expect Liverpool to dominate possession, dominate the chances. Yeah, they should roll right over Fulham. Do you see this any different?
I don't see it any different, but I love just like the tagline right there. Like at 7:30 in the morning, you got to have Peacock ready to go because that's the only way you're going to be able to watch that one, I think. And yeah, I mean, it's great that it starts out with Liverpool, traveling to Craven Cottage, and there's a gulf in class between the two sides, and the prices reflect that. And just something that I mentioned with you kind of on another show, Jason, is Mohamed Salah. I mean, he generally gets started early in his campaigns. How many times has he won the Golden Boot now in his seasons here for Liverpool? And so, yeah, I expect him to get off the mark here. And you can find Salah plus 100 here on the road to score. That makes a ton of sense. He's taking the penalties. So, yeah, if you can find a nice combo of Salah to score, Liverpool to win the match at a plus price, I mean, I think that makes total sense. And I think that Liverpool do cover the minus 1.5 Asian handicap line here. I think that this is, probably just a good professional job from Jurgen Klopp's side here. Probably 2-0, 3-0, maybe it's a 3-1. But you kind of know what you're going to get. I guess the only question mark is, will it be Nunez starting up top, or will he elect to go with the more veteran, savvy Bobby Firmino? I know that Konate's out with a little knee injury in this one, and so Joel Matip will get the start. But other than that, those are the two like little injury kind of or question marks really in the lineup. But it's going to be Henderson, Thiago, and Fabinho, and it's going to be Diaz, Salah, and then the question mark is does he want to debutize Darwin Nunez?
Just think about that. We know we get 5 subs this year in the Premier League. Think about it. You're going to have, let's say Firmino is the one that sits on the bench. Firmino and Jota both going to cut on in the 70th minute. The strong firepower with another 20 minutes, and they'll probably add on a goal themselves. I mean, it's going to be incredible what Liverpool's going to be able to do here for Fulham. Yeah, everybody sees it. The price is priced right for Liverpool to cover that minus 1.5 on the Asian line, so get on that. You mentioned Salah there at any time in goal scorer. I think we'll have time, maybe by the time we cover all 10 of these games, maybe cook up a little anytime goal scoring parlay here for the viewing audience. So Salah will be certainly a name that we want to go ahead and remember and drop into that parlay. Let's see what else Saturday we've got. We've got Bournemouth taking on Aston Villa is the next chunk there in the 10 a.m. Eastern game. So you got Bournemouth, another new team here in the Premier League, just like Fulham is, taking on a Aston Villa squad that we all think will finish in the top 10, at least from a squad perspective. This is a team led by Steven Gerrard that should be in that top half of the table. I don't see it any other way. I know they go on the road here in week 1, but I think they'll have enough just to pull it off. It could be cagey and maybe low scoring, but too much on the back end there and their back four, and then Martinez behind them. To me, it's Villa win. I wouldn't feel comfortable getting a margin or anything like that, though, in this game.
Yeah, I think that Villa are going to be pretty strong here. When you're looking at, kind of something that we talked about too was Diego Carlos. that signing, another center half from Sevilla. That was a real nice coup that they got early in the window. They did their business early. They've got 3 really solid center halves now when you're looking at Konsa, Mings, and Diego Carlos. And then their left back, Jason, it's Digne still, right?
Digne,
So like, that's such a nice like back solidity, like that's having just a lot of solidity right there. They've got Ramsey in the middle, who's a young, brilliant midfield player, really. And then they've got Watkins and these guys that can finish off chances. So I expect, maybe this one will be kind of a 50-50 in terms of possession, but I expect the more clinical side to be with Villa. And if you're finding them on the road here at plus 100, it's the only way. We've got less than 24 hours, obviously, until the match starts. And I'll be checking lineups here to see if I can find any other little piece of info. But like, this is a perfect example. Like, I think that this is probably worthy of a small bet at even money. And let's say 15 minutes before this match starts, the line kind of moves to like a minus 110 and minus 115. Like, I don't mind still grabbing that. Like, I think that's the way that I see this one going, and just want to check off all the boxes with the lineup.
I love talking through this match week 1 with you. I got to temper my betting volume, though. It's so easy here with the start of any new league, and obviously Premier League here with this one, just to bet everything under there. So maybe just be a little bit cautious. But yeah, I'm right there with you. And I need Digne to have a nice season. I've got him on my fantasy team. I drafted my team the other week and was able to scoop him up, I think, for $4.5. So I got a real nice coup there with Digne. Like that right there. Hey, guys, hit this like button while you're doing it. And also drop in a comment. Let us know what some of your best bets are. Let us know what some of your leans are through this match week. We'll shout them out. We'll kind of answer any questions that you may have as well. So drop in your comments and hit that like button. Let's go ahead and move on to the next game here. We got Leeds and Wolves. Tough one here. Jesse Marsch leading Leeds out. They obviously lost a lot there. They lost Rafinha. They lost the England international there in Calvin Phillips. Don't think they did a lot to replace these kind of guys, but Wolves, they didn't do anything. Jimenez, you mentioned how he's a knock for this game. I don't know. This one to me just breezed, low scoring. Don't worry about watching this game. It's got 0-0-1 over it and all over it.
I think that's what we've really come to the conclusion the more and more we've talked about this one, is that it's going to be very difficult for goals to come by. And it's going to be especially difficult, I think, for Wolves to score. So I only look at the home side here. I look at Jesse Marsch and it's like Leeds America United, basically. And I like it, though. I think that Brendan Aronson is a fine player. I really do. I think that he's got a little bit of Kevin De Bruyne in him. If you want my honest opinion of him, I think he's like he's a lower level Kevin De Bruyne. I think that's what he can bring to this league. He's a very attack minded midfield player. He's got goals in him. He's got assists in him, and he runs. You know what I mean? He's just got stamina for days. So I think that he's very similar in that aspect. And I don't really love this match from a betting perspective. It could only be unders for me. And I think that, for me, it would only be the home side. I would only be looking towards Leeds.
Okay, yeah, we obviously previewed every match week last week, and I remember 1.6 goals was the average number of goals scored in a Wolves fixture. They didn't do anything to improve it. Their back line is still their back line. Yeah, I don't know. Too good of a system to me. Yeah, unders all day long in that fixture. Let's go ahead and run through a couple of these Saturdays, and then we'll circle back there on that Crystal Palace Arsenal game, as we do now have confirmed lineups for there. We want to talk about that in enough time so you guys can lock in a bet, and we can also lock in a bet for that one. But let's move it now to Newcastle versus Nottingham Forest, the last team here that's new to the Premier League. Take it on Newcastle here at St. James Park. I like St. James Park here in this one. The only thing that could keep me up from or in terms of maybe staying competitive is Dean Henderson there for Nottingham Forest, who they were able to get on loan there from Manchester United. Otherwise, I'm not too familiar with Nottingham Forest. I look forward to watching this game. I remember last season watching the newbies in their first 5 games to really learn them and see how can I bet either for or against them throughout the remaining weeks. I will be watching this picture. I need to learn about Nottingham Forest. But off that, without really knowing them, I like Newcastle here at home at St. James Park.
Yeah, I like Newcastle. I just don't love the price on it. And I think that, the continuity of Newcastle should prevail here in a sense, because there's just a lot of new faces and new names in this Forest side. And look, Newcastle at the back end of last season, unbeaten at home at St. James in 9 of their last 10 home matches. So they really started to feel something towards the back of that second half, like when all of the changes were made, essentially in that January window. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, is Newcastle going to get relegated after getting bought out by the Chinese billionaires, essentially?" And they were able to put it together. Eddie Howe was able to put it together. And how do you do that? You do it by taking care of business at home. So I would expect them to take care of business here at home. I think that Bruno Guimaraes and obviously I'm a huge St. Maximin fan. So yeah, I just don't want anything to do with the prices, but I would be looking towards Newcastle if I had to bet it.
Yeah, you mentioned Eddie Howe. He was a favorite of mine last time he was in the Premier League with Bournemouth. I was able to scoop up a lot of wins with Eddie Howe. I feel like you know what you're going to get with him. He's just going to keep his team in terms of in it. Like you're not going to blow him out. And then even when he's got a game like this where maybe they have the upper hand, he's just not going to run away with the win in big fashion either. Love backing Eddie Howe kind of team. So look forward to seeing what he can certainly do this season there with Newcastle. Now that he'll be there the whole time in terms of the full campaign. He won't go anywhere. I like Newcastle team total over 1.5 pre-lineups. I like that team total over 1.5, which can be snagged at minus 118. All right, a couple more games here on Saturday. Let's do Tottenham versus Southampton right now. Tottenham, a top 4 team. Southampton, bottom half, relegation. Where are we seeing Southampton? Where are we seeing Tottenham at?
We're seeing this should be kind of one-way traffic. And it's just how do you find the value? You either combine Tottenham in some type of parlay, or you look towards Kane or Son to do the job that they normally do. Yeah, I think that there's a big gulf in class here. But Southampton, the last time that these two teams met, they did win this fixture. Southampton can be pesky at times. It just I got to see what kind of lineup even Southampton is putting out there, really, because I think that there's going to be a couple new faces that I'm not fully familiar with. So it really makes me just want to stay away from this one. I think the only way that I would be looking here, though, is like a Tottenham halftime, full-time, which cashed in all 3 of their last 3 home games from last season. So it'd be Spurs halftime, full-time for me.
Yeah, Sammy in our comments, he put in a popular play with what you kind of have to do with sometimes in soccer with these money lines. Either take a team in like an under 4.5 or take a team in an over 1.5. I think with this one, Sammy, Spurs are going to score goals. I don't want to cap them in this fixture and say they can't get 4 or maybe they can't get 3 and Southampton can't get 1. I would feel more comfortable maybe with the Tottenham and over 1.5 in that scenario. This one at White Hart Lane, love the pieces they add, Perisic and Basuma. Tottenham's going to win this one. I think it's going to be relatively comfortable. I think they cover the minus 1.5 on the Asian line as well.
Yeah, so just even since we're back here, we're back at Pub Sports Radio, man, and I know that this is a Premier League show, but I'm looking also, it starts in 15 minutes, guys, and I'm going to switch over to leagues really quick because I do like to cap the Bundesliga a little bit as well, and it's a big-time match for their match day 1 here. Just want to mention it briefly. It's Frankfurt versus Bayern Munich. There should be goals galore here. So if you're looking at this one, you can either go like both teams to score in over 2.5, or maybe you push it to the Asian handicap of over 2.75 or over 3. I like all of those. I think that Mane, Gnabry, Musiala, like Bayern's going to get theirs here, and Frankfurt generally have a goal in them. So for me here, I like both teams to score in over 2.5 or over 2.75, depending on what kind of book you have and the odds. But I just wanted to at least throw in a little nugget. I'm definitely getting on that, and that starts in 15 minutes.
And I've got the tablet right here, so thank you for throwing in that nugget because I'm ready for it to go ahead and come on. Love it. Love to see what this new look Bayern team can do without Lewandowski. I still think they'll be obviously top of that league. What can they do in Champions League? We'll wait and find out, I guess, next month when that campaign kicks off. All right, let's move over to the last Saturday game. And then again, we will circle back and catch this Palace versus Arsenal game that kicks off here in about 45 minutes now that we've got confirmed lineups. You mentioned the one-way traffic at White Hart Lane. I think you're going to get a one-way traffic here at Goodison Park. I cannot see Frank Lampard's squad putting up much of a fight with Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea coming in. How much goals can Chelsea get? They do not have a number 9. Lukaku is now sent out on loan. They're going to run Kai while they look for summer reinforcements to replace Lukaku. That's the thing with me. I think Chelsea's not going to get scored on, though. I would maybe go you can either call it clean sheet or team total under for Everton, something like that. You're going to say Everton's going to have X percentage of the ball, let's say 30 or under or whatever, maybe 35 and under. Can they convert? They're going to get 3 chances, maybe 2 of them on target, or one of those 2 going to go in on the back of the net. Nah, I like Chelsea on the clean sheet here.
I think that looks really good too, Jason. Yeah, you're pointing that out. Like Chelsea are kind of my favorite bet this week, really. Like, the day before this all really gets kicked off, and I think I like them on the clean sheet as well. Like, one, you're getting the best goalie in the league pretty much in Mendy. And so it's going to take a really nice effort from Everton to even score. And then you perfectly touched on, how many chances are they even going to have? 2 or 3? And then you've got a world-class goalie in there, a couple nice center backs in front of them. So I do like Chelsea on the clean sheet as well here, that they're going to dominate possession. I like, this is one of those matches where it's the game script, I think, is very easily it's very easy to read, in my opinion. I think that Lampard's going to set up to defend and try to get a point here at home, which is always tough to swallow probably on match day 1 when you're at home, going up against the club that, you played for your whole entire life. You're going to set up here to defend and try to get a point. That's the reality of it. And I don't think that they need that number 9 right now for this one. They need to play more ticky-tacky, because it's going to be 10-11 Evertonians in the box trying to stifle them. So I like some 1-2s between Mount, Pulisic, Havertz. It might take a little bit, but they will find the breakthrough. And once they find the breakthrough, then the floodgates will open. So I love Chelsea -1 here at plus 115. That's my bet in this one. But I like their clean sheet. I think that if you want a bigger price, Chelsea win to 0 makes a ton of sense. Chelsea in under 3.5 or under 4.5 if you want to be safer. I do like the Blues here. It's hard not to.
I don't think I'll be able to get away from that Chelsea clean sheet at plus 125. No Richarlison, obviously. Calvert-Lewin's out with injury, and Rodon's out with red cards. They're going to have a Iwobi. Iwobi doesn't scare me. They're not scoring against this Chelsea defense. So, yeah, I'll be probably locking in that Chelsea clean sheet at plus 125. Jeff's got a great parlay of Tottenham, Liverpool, Man City. Probably cash that one a lot, Jeff, going forward. You book that one each and every single match week, my man. All right, let's circle back now. Let's take a break here and jump back to this game that does go on right now. Let's talk about it. Let's lock in our bets. Pre-lineups, and I'm going to pull up lineups right now. You were on Arsenal pre-lineups. I was on Palace on the double chance. But again, that was pre-lineups. Just looking at everything. Exactly. Let's kind of look at it, Matt. I'm sure you're looking at it as I'm talking about it. We do get Jesus, obviously making his debut. Odegaard's going to sit in behind him. Martinelli's next to Jesus. Chichenko, you predicted that, right? You didn't think he was going to be in that back 4. It looks like they're playing a back 3 with Gabriel, Salaba, and White. Partey, Jocko.
This is going to be where the flash score is actually showing the wrong type of formation, I think. Okay. I don't think that they'll play Saka at the right wing back position. You know? So this is going to be a 4-2-3-1 for Arsenal, just like what I was hoping for. And yeah, this Palace lineup looks pretty good too, though, you have to say.
Yeah, I like that. That looks like to me a Palace team that I thought could get a double chance. It's at plus money. I still like that.
I like unders now that I'm looking at this more. So like it's two teams that are playing the exact same formation, which I've always, whenever it's something that I've noticed over the years, like when 2 teams are kind of head to head and they're matching each other up, I think that generally the game has a tendency more to stay under the number. So both of these teams are rocking 4-2-3-1s. Edouard, Eze, Zaha, Ayew. That's decent. The Decore is the new face. A guy that you've got to mention in this league is this Mark Guehi. He's 22 years old. He has got a massive, massive price tag. If you look on like Transfer Market or you look at any valuations of players, Mark Guehi, Crystal Palace, Jason, have a over 50 million euro player in defense at Mark Guehi. So he's definitely someone to keep in mind. He's very, very solid, was great last year. And he kind of pairs there with Mitchell, who's also 22 years old at the left back. So like, that's a really nice, like their left side is really strong when you're looking at Zaha and Mitchell going up against Ben White and that kind of Saka wants to get forward more. So where, Saka is going to have more defensive, capabilities, I think, in this one. He's going to need to track back. I look at this and it does look, I think pre-match, I kind of thought I wanted maybe some overs. I think after looking at these lineups, I think that these two teams cancel themselves out. And I think that this is unders.
Under 2.5, you can get it right now at -110. The one bet I did give out pre-lineups, remind you, everybody, this is a Palace team that got a result in both fixtures last year. This is a Palace team that has covered my bet in the last 3 head-to-heads. This is a Palace team that covered that bet, only having 31% of the possession at home and a 3-0 win at Selhurst Park. That bet is over 3.5 shots on target for Crystal Palace. I gave that out at plus money a little bit earlier today. I like it. And now that I see the lineups, yeah, they'll be able to attack the flanks. They'll be able to get some shots on target. I like it. And I do lean with you. I already like the under. Yeah. All right. I like, after seeing these lineups, lock in your bets, folks. Under, double chance for me. I think that's it. And it's season opener, right? Guys aren't in the best form. You kind of see missed chances anyways in match day 1. You saw Holland there in the Community Shield.
Yeah. I do like unders here a little bit. I think it's worth, like, I don't think it's like it's not a hammer play by any means. It's not one, it's good, but I think it's worthy of a half unit to a unit stake here. Really. I think that these two teams are going to kind of cancel each other out in this one. I don't, now that I look at it more, it's like, I don't really want to get on this Arsenal train. I don't want to be in the winners market. I want to be in the goals market, and I want to stay under the number here. So that's going to be kind of our first, duo play here on Pub Sports Radio here, I think, Jason. It's under 2.5 here, starting in about just over 30 minutes.
Just over 30 minutes. Love it. Love it. Let's run through these games so everybody can enjoy the kickoff here to the Premier League season. Let's turn it to Sunday's games. Let's look at Leicester taking on Brentford. And we're going to sit here and we're going to try and make predictions here on match week 1 using information learned in the summer of the transfer window, and also obviously what happened in the previous season. What happened in that previous season? Leicester scored and Leicester conceded. I wrote over 2.5, and both teams will score a ton in their fixtures. I'm going to do it right out of the gate here in this fixture, but I'm not going to do both teams to score because I'm getting it at -127. So I'll just roll with over. Every team's going to contribute to this over in my mind.
Yeah, I think that this is like the smash over play of the week. I think that this is the best totals bet of the week. I think that just taking it straight over 2.5, both the last 3 head-to-heads between the two, that has happened in the basically in the last year and a half. These two teams have played 3 times. All 3 times have gone over 2.5 goals.
Yeah.
And I think that Leicester are set up to do well here and probably win this match. But I just look more towards the goal scorers, the market of, over 2.5, I guess you could say.
I just can't see how goals don't happen in this fixture. Leicester's so bad in defense. Did they do anything great this summer to shore that up? No. Nope.
No, they didn't.
So you're just hoping on chemistry. I've even seen out there, Brendan Rodgers is a popular pick among some people to be the first manager sacked. I agree with him. What did they do this summer? Not a whole lot. They didn't make improvements. They're not a team that's going to be competing with the top 6 by any stretch.
Yeah, it's all about if they can hold on. And there was a statement that kind of came out today because a lot of people have been like cooling interest on Leicester over the last month, basically because of the business that they haven't done. Yeah. And then now Chelsea have been all over trying to get Wesley Fofana, which is just kind of like how we were talking about Guehi a couple minutes ago. I mean, he's a 50 million euro defender in Fofana. And so, but I saw that Brendan Rodgers came out basically today and said that our players are not for sale. Like him and Madison. Yeah. So if they hold on to them, honestly, I think it's like an okay window for Leicester. I think that their continuity will still shine. And I think they're still a top 10 team.
Top 10, right. But I don't think touching top 6 by any stretch. I think it's like 7 through 10.
Yeah. They're not they're not even really in the Europa conversation, I think, anymore, which kind of sucks.
No, I don't think so at all. They were in that campaign. Were they in their conference last year or Europa? They were in one of those two last year. Still can't quite remember.
Yeah, it was
either way.
Yeah, no, they were in the conference league. They were in
the Europa conference.
Yeah.
Was that a Mickey Mouse one? Are we going to call that? That's Mickey Mouse. That just came out of money, right?
That's the Mickey Mouse league, except for how Jose Mourinho got the tattoo of the 3 trophies. Like he's trying to pump the conference league up.
Right. Of course he is. All of that stuff right there. All right, let's talk about these clubs now in Manchester, and let's start with the one in United. It's Manchester United taking on Brighton. If you're new to me, I am a Manchester United fan. I've been soccer my whole life. Yeah, there we go, Matt. It's soccer's been my love since I was 5. I play it even now, an adult, 39 years old now, and I still play adult rec league. Love United. This is a good spot for them at home. Eric Ten Hag's going to go ahead and kick off his campaign in front of the Old Trafford crowd. I like them here. We saw Brighton lose their best players. Obviously, Matt mentioned Cucurella. They're going to Chelsea. Well, they lost Basuma. They're going to Brighton. Not going to Brighton, going to Tottenham. That's a major loss for them in the middle of the park. United will find a way at home. Can I predict like a margin? No, because Brighton plays them super tough. I remember this one fixture a couple of years ago. This is where the full-time whistle was blown, and then they awarded United and Fernandez a penalty. Like after the full-time whistle, Brighton plays this team tough. Be cautious of this, but I do think United has enough to pull it out here in the debut there for Eric Ten Hag.
Yeah, I think that Cucurella and Basuma are huge gaps that Brighton haven't filled yet. I think that they'll have a plan. I think that Graham Potter is a more than solid manager in this league. He's probably in the top 10 for managers in terms of just stylistically how they like to play. They're fun to watch. You know, they're going to be able to get at United a little bit here. They're going to be able to pass the ball around United and create some chances. But something here smells to me a little bit that everyone's going to look at Brighton and think they're a good money line shot here at like plus 500, plus 450. And I'm not so sure about it. I know that they won this last head-to-head 4-0, but something just tells me like Ten Hag, his debut, match day 1 at Old Trafford, there's a little bit, I'm not saying that the feelings around the United camp are great right now, but they're decent enough, I think, to be able to beat a Brighton and Hove side that truly lost their best 2 players. They were both snatched away.
Yeah, I think before we end this fixture, we certainly have to talk about, because it was a late injury that just eroded. You had Anthony Martial. Now he's going to be out with a thigh injury. What are we going to do here with Ronaldo, right? Last friendly, leaves the stadium early. Manager comes out, deems it unacceptable. Guys have been throughout the preseason tour talking about the tough love, and they needed that after previous managers. With the Martial injury, though, and now it's a natural, you just slide Ronaldo right up into the number 9 and you go about your business. But how's that going to look possibly to the dressing room when he's trying to instill this tough love on this team? Can they throw a Rashford up at the number 9 spot to you, or does he do what I think would be a big time mistake and put Ronaldo up in that 9 spot from the opening whistle?
I think that it's going to end up becoming a problem the more and more the weeks go by. I think that the problem is that Ronaldo was the best player on the team, arguably last season, and contributed to his, the goal tally. But he doesn't make the players around him feel good enough, really. You know what I mean? It's always about Ronaldo, and that's in this game. I mean, it's just like on the gridiron here in America. I mean, there's 11 people on the pitch, and everyone has to work in unison. And sometimes with Ronaldo, it's always a little bit been about me. And I do think that it could hurt Ten Hag here at the beginning of his campaign. But that being said, if Ronaldo starts in this match, I think he might score. And so I'm looking at it right now, Jason. I want to review it with you and see if we should add or subtract anything. But basically what I'm seeing is 5-1. I know we haven't even got to the City game yet, but seeing 5-1 right now, basically on Salah, Ronaldo, Haaland. Kind of like it.
Yeah, write down those names just in case. We'll have time here after the show to maybe cook up an anytime parlay. I will say the only thing to be cautious about that is know your sports book. There are some sports books where the guy doesn't start, he'll be voided, that leg of your parlay. I wouldn't mind, obviously, on that sports book, maybe dumping in, some of these players. So keep those names. We'll circle back to do that. The one thing I want to mention is if I'm Eric Ten Hag, I'm starting Rashford at the 9. I'm doing Elanga and Sancho on the wings, and I'm benching Ronaldo. The problem with United, when you look at this squad and compare them to others in the top 6, it's that midfield. You got McFred in the middle. You got slow Donny Van de Beek, as a possibility to come on. They get run over in the midfield when you start comparing them to these other clubs. They're still in trouble. They're still a couple transfer windows away from really competing in this league.
Yeah. And, another one that I'm starting to think about too, when we talk about a match that should have goals in it, and I need to get confirmation, but Jamie Vardy's going to start for Leicester, right?
I didn't see him on the injured out. I'm pretty,
I mean, I kind of like a little bit of Jamie Vardy. He was kind of hot at the back end of last season when he got back from his injury again. He scored some goals late last season. Like, he's a proven talisman in this league. He kind of comes to mind when we're talking about this.
I've got to be cooking up so many guys, and that's any guy in parlay.
The only one that really the only other conversation that I really would want to have is either Son or Kane, and I hate deciding between those two, so I would rather just leave them alone. Like, that would be maybe my 4 actually, is kind of then including Vardy in it.
Yeah, I could easily work Vardy into an anytime goal scoring parlay without doubt. I think, just to tell the audience, on the NBC Sports Predictor app where you can win $50,000, I predicted a 2-1 United win. 2-1 United. I think they do pull it out. Brighton probably gets on, so both teams will score over 2.5. I think it's a good play in that fixture as well. All right, what's going to end it here for match week number 1 is West Ham versus Manchester City. You take this one, Matt. Take this one off to start.
It's the best match of the week. At least they saved the best for last in this one. This is the most competitive. I mean, you're getting 2 teams that were in Europe last season. And look, I mean, if there's any chance for Liverpool to win this league, like, they're going to need West Ham here. Liverpool have got to take an early lead like they did in the 2020 campaign, the 2019-20 campaign, where they took, a 9 point differential like early in the first like month and a half, basically, and they were just like, you're never going to touch this again, Manchester City, no matter how well you play. And so for me here, I wouldn't be looking towards like City on the -1.5. I think that this is going to be a tough match. I think that last week they looked a little bit sleepy in the Community Shield. They've got, some new pieces and some pieces, hopefully I'm, seeing the Bernardo Silva stuff. Like, if he exited, like, that would be a major blow, I think, to Man City. But yeah, the one thing that I think that I can bank on after watching a full 90 minutes of Liverpool versus Man City last week is I saw 3 really nice clear-cut chances for Erling Haaland. That's what I want the most of. And you're saying at DraftKings right now, because the shop around here, because I'm telling you right now on FanDuel, they're trying to really rip you off basically and say Erling Haaland is -165 to score. Well, no, you can go get 40 cents lower at their main competitor. And that is something we always have to preach on this show, is look around.
Yes.
Because if you're betting -165 on Haaland when you can get -125 over at DraftKings, like, what are you doing here? And so Erling Haaland -125 to score. He's going to probably take the pens. We're not confirmed on the pens. It's the only thing that's scaring me, but I've got that feeling that he's on pen duty here. They want to get him right. Is Mahrez really going to look to Haaland and be like, I'm taking this one? Like, I don't think so. And Mahrez has missed a few big ones over the last couple seasons. So it's like, this is Haaland's team. Like, he's the best striker in the world, pretty much, to me. I think he is. And so -125 on Erling Haaland, like, that one's also going in the goal scoring parlay, but I think that that's worthy of a singles bet. Is like, I think that is the best bet of this match, is that he scores.
Yeah, we were talking about this match earlier in the week. I think you've convinced me at -125. It's for sure. I'm kind of a team total guy, or the score in both halves kind of guy. I like those, but Haaland should find the back of the net, and having that extra game against a top tier opponent, Liverpool, just going to have them more crisp and ready to go here at London. Don't read too much in the last fixture last year that was at London, because that was right at the end of the season, coming off of the Champions League there for Manchester City. So I don't really put much stock into that. I still think West Ham will be competitive, but I don't think West Ham can pull off a result. I do think they can find the back of the net. So maybe you like both teams to score in over 2.5. I think that would also be a nice play in this fixture. But I think in looking at it and what the prices are offering, Haaland anytime goal at -125, sure. Sign me up. He could punish this defense just like he can punish any other defense in the league. And the books are saying at -125, they have a good defense, sure, because this won't be -125 when you get to other teams in the league. I take advantage of it. He can punish them all.
I mean, is like this price is from every week pretty much on, unless they're going on the road against a top 6 side. This price is going to be -200 every time. So like, I think that we're getting a little bit of a discount here in match day 1. Thankfully, he didn't light up Virgil van Dijk and the boys last week. Like, let's say he scores a brace. He finishes those chances off. What is this price, Jason? I mean, seriously.
200 plus.
That's what I'm saying. So this might even be the best bet of the entire week. And this is something that we've got to mention before. I mean, we're almost getting ready to hop off. This is the week of debutants. Okay. This is like, and those are my favorite things to bet on, really, is a guy to score on his debut. Like, I love that stuff. Like Mane is going right now for Bayern. That's technically his true, real debut in the league. And you know, I think that this West Ham Man City match kind of, you know, it cooks up to be like even Scamacca. Like, I think that West Ham can score. If you look at the head-to-heads in this one, they've scored against Man City in their last 4 head-to-heads. And you've got a new striker, the Italian number 9 in Scamacca. Does he get off the score sheet? And like you combine it with a Holland Scamacca and get a big price? Maybe you do. So it's just something to think about. It's a week of debuts, and it's something that I like to focus on for sure on a couple of these guys.
Love that Scamacca pickup. Love cashing Sassuolo, you know, both teams to score on over 2.5 in Serie A last picture. Seems like we got some extra time. Let's go ahead and cook up an extra time goal scoring parlay. While you guys do that, again, we encourage you to drop in some of your lean, drop in some of your bets. We'll answer them the best we can. And hit that like button too. Let us know you're fired up here for match week number 1. All right, let's not go too crazy. Let's do like half, 6 and under. Guys, I think you've nailed it, and I'm going to run through and punch them in here. Mm-hmm. Salah at even money, that's a no-brainer with him getting the pens. I think you've convinced me that Holland's going to be on the pens, not that is like the deciding factor. I'm doing it regardless, but yeah, you like to have that like extra little thing of who takes the pens.
Vardy's on pens.
I like Vardy at plus 110. So
that's 3. So what are you getting on that price? Because we're not sure that Ronaldo's going to start, so we need to make sure that if we're betting. I like a 4-teamer or a 4 leg with Ronaldo included. I'm seeing it. What are you seeing it right now at when you're punching those 4 in?
Yeah, just on the 3, and keep in mind, obviously, not price shopping here. It's 656 on those 3.
656. I think that's what we're going to go with here for the show, because we cannot guarantee that Ronaldo is going to be in the lineup here. I really love that.
I'm betting that. I'm betting that.
Vardy, Salah, Holland all score this week.
And I'm doing a full unit. Sometimes I'll scale back like when the odds increase, but it's match week 1. It's match week 1. I could be sitting there with my popcorn, just enjoying the games. Like, give it to me.
Can you tell me what it is though? What do you have on if you do include Ronaldo?
If we jump in Ronaldo, let's see. Let me scroll down to Ronaldo.
It's going to be like
1487.
So call it 15 to 1.
15. I call it 15
to 1, basically.
Let's just scroll. Finish your comment. Yeah.
Let's be real. Like, okay, so let's do a little bit more digging here tonight. I think that we're going to find out some info that Ronaldo is going to start. And I think that if he does, 1, we're getting all 4 of the penalty takers. And we're getting some really proven amazing goals in this league. Vardy scored over 20. Ronaldo had over 18 last year, and he's 30, whatever. Holland, he might bag 40 in this league, honestly. And then Salah, he's bagged over 30 in the league before. Like, we're going with the proven guys, match day 1, to get off to a good start. I love that 4.
Let's go through these games and see if there's anybody else we can kind of talk in here while Byron gets on the score sheet there, 1-0.
Love it.
Love that right there. All right, so we're both in agreement between Tottenham, Southampton. We see goals, but trying to pick a guy to like confidence drop in a parlay, we both pass on that game, right?
Exactly. I would pass on it. I always hate that because I know that Kane is on pen duty, so like that makes me lean Kane. But Kane over the last 2 seasons has changed his game so much to where he's almost like he's playing as a number 10. You know, he sucks everybody in, and then he dimes the ball over the top to Son, and Son finishes it. Yeah. Like, so it's splitting hairs. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if they both scored, but for this kind of parlay situation, right. Like if you made me add another 5th guy into it, it would be the penalty taker. So it would be Kane for me.
All right, Newcastle, Nottingham, couldn't add a guy. Bournemouth, Villa, couldn't add a guy. Leeds, Wolves, of course not. That game could be 0-0.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea, Everton, with Chelsea playing the false nine of Kai.
Don't know where it's
knows?
coming from.
Yeah, don't know exactly. Don't know. And so that's it. Now we're on to Sunday's game of United, the Leicester, and the City. So I think that's it. I think that's your 3-teamer. And if you want to dump in Ronaldo, if you gather more information at 15-1, okay. But I think you've got a really solid 3-teamer cooked up there, Matt, and Salah, Haaland, and Vardy.
Yeah, I think that's a really solid, fun one to start off the campaign with, and I think it's something that we can do each week on EPL on Pub. To be honest, Jason, I think that we're going to be able to hit multiple of these if we're really focused in here. And yeah, I'm actually curious though, Jason, if you still have that thing up there, what are they giving if we do add Kane to it? Just
add Kane with Ronaldo, or Kane is the fourth
with Ronaldo.
With Ronaldo. Okay, hold on. Let me scroll back down and get Ronaldo.
I mean, it's going to be a big price.
It's 25, 30. Yes, 31-1.
31-1.
I don't feel confident adding the.
I don't love that one as much. I like the 656. I love the 656. And then we just got to make sure. I guess I need to try to just dig in here, and we can send something out on our Twitter accounts if if Ronaldo gets some good info that he's going to start here. Like I think it's worthy of. It's kind of like a ladder, like you would do. Let's say you would do like a half unit on the parlay or whatever. And then if you want to do on the 15-1, you would step that one down to a quarter unit and just like things like that. So
that's going to be fun talking these bets throughout this entire season with everybody. I mean, I'm already I got the goosebumps here. We've got a match starting here in 18 minutes. I'm excited.
I'm
absolutely excited. And I know our viewing audience is as well. Hey guys, we're going to be here every single week, guiding you through all 38 of these match weeks. We'll be doing it here live with you guys. Come bring your questions, bring your leans, and bring your best bets. We'll love to talk each match week for you. All right, Matt, anything else, or is that it?
That's it. Let's just let's hope for some more goals in Bayern in the Bayern match. And I think that we like under 2.5 here. Arsenal, Palace, we like unders. It's going to be 2 teams, same formation, should cancel each other out. Don't really care who wins. I think it's a 1-0 or 1-1 type of situation, maybe 2-0. So there's a bunch of different outcomes for us to cash this under 2.5.
All right, guys, go lock in your bets. Enjoy match week there between Crystal Palace and Arsenal. And we'll see you back here next week on the EPL and Pub. Hit that like button on your way out, and we'll see you then.